Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? I agreed to help my sister for 3 weeks with her kids, but I left after 2 weeks. My sister just gave birth to her second child a month ago. She asked me and my wife to fly and stay at their home for 3 weeks to help with childcare and chores while she recovered and got used to being a mom of 2. I work from home and my wife does not work, so I reluctantly agreed. I was reluctant because I am going through a stressful period at work, and my wife and I are on a break from trying to have our first baby after 3 unsuccessful tries last year. I agreed because she seemed really anxious and has a BTS concert to go to soon. She needs someone to help her husband with the kids while she flies out to see the concert and fly back the next day. She and her husband are currently on parental leave for the next couple months. Even before my wife and I got to their house, she was texting me about how frustrated she was with her mother-in-law and my parents, who were there before us, because she expected them to do some chores. My sister complained about how she and her husband weren't getting any rest at all, since they had to pick up the slack on chores. I assured her we would do our best to help with chores and kids. My nightmare began as soon as we arrived. First, I didn't realize they wouldn't pick us up from the airport. They covered our plane tickets, but we had to cover the $50 Uber from the airport to their house. When we arrived, she asked us to do our own groceries so we would have our own food, because they prepared special food to sustain her breast milk production, and she didn't want us to eat it. When we started to cook our own food each day, she appeared annoyed at us, and later on I found out that it's because she expected us to ask her first if she and her husband needed anything before we started doing our own thing. Because we had to do our own groceries, their fridge got full, and she complained about the fridge being full, even though 98% of it was their food. My wife and I did all the chores each day, making sure their house was tidy every night, but my sister still was not pleased. We spent all day with her 4-year-old, but my sister was constantly correcting my wife and I in how we interact with her 4-year-old, asking us not to reprimand her kid, even when her kid was hitting us and saying some pretty mean things since she wanted her mom only. The kid disliked my wife so much that she lied to my sister that my wife punched her. She did not, and my sister confronted us about it. My sister told me that it was okay if we wanted to leave early because our presence created more stress for them than relief. So after 2 weeks, I decided for us to leave a week early because the situation felt like slavery. My sister has sent me text messages after we left, telling me how she doesn't think my wife is good enough for me, because my wife apparently can't do chores, wants too many breaks during the day from childcare, and can't take care of kids, and that there is something wrong with my wife since her 4-year-old doesn't like her. I responded and gave her my opinions about her insane expectations of free help. She was so insistent on exactly how everything needed to be done that I had nightmares, and that I don't need her opinion about my marriage. She messaged me again telling me that I always twist everything, that I'm acting like the victim here, and that I'm never there for her. I have not responded to her since her last message, but was very hurtful. AITAH? Update. My sister has sent me a text message full of cuss words that tears down my entire character. She told me that my life is full of drama, and I only bring toxicity into everyone else's lives. I believe she's talking about hardships that I have been through in life, and mine, and my wife's recent difficult baby journey that has caused us not to be as available. She mentioned that I have never been there for her in almost every milestone in her life, despite me being there to help her after her first and second kid were born, and also lending an ear whenever she was stressed or angry about something in her life. She said that I make everything about myself, because I previously mentioned to her that I will now be setting my boundaries, since my help and kindness has been taken for granted. She also mentioned that she was always there through all my hardships, but in reality, I keep a lot of my feelings hidden from her, and never ask for her help, out of fear of being an inconvenience and being judged. She said she asked us to leave their home for the good of everyone, not because she was kicking us out, and said she will always believe her kid over anyone. I was so anxious to read her message that I had to ask my wife to read it first, to tell me how bad it is. I am going no contact with my sister for as long as possible.